Hello friends, I am Professor Wagmudi Bihar. Today we can see the exercise on top dressing and foliar feeding of nutrients. First of all, you can see the top dressing. As the concept of top dressing is the application of nitrogenous fertilizers in between the standing crop, in between the rows of crops. As the nitrogen is to be applied as per the need of the crop, and in two ways, that is as a basal nitrogen application and the top dress nitrogen. As a basal application of nitrogen means the NPK and other nutrients are required to be applied as early crop growth or just uh, at sowing or just at after planting. The top dressing fertilizer is highly mobile. Applied nitrogen in the severe split or the several split applications as the key stage during crop management development. As you can see here, this is a leaf color chart, that is LCC. It will measures the chlorophyll content according to color or the if you adjust the nitrogen rates to apply nitrogen to the respective crop. As the leaf chlorophyll meter, as a SPAD meter is used for the to determine the chlorophyll content or to determine the crop nitrogen demand. And if the crop develops poorly due to, for example, low rainfall, top dressing can be cancelled. If the slow release nitrogen fertilizers and the deep placement of the fertilizer of nitrogen improves its synchrony, the synchronization between the nutrient demand and supply. Next one, the timing and splits of especially nitrogen fertilizer application. The timing of fertilizer application has significant effects on especially on crop yield. Proper timing of fertilizer application has to be increase the yield and reduces the nutrient losses, and then also increases nutrient use efficiency and prevent damage to the environment. And applying fertilizer at the wrong time might result in nutrient losses, waste of fertilizer, and even damage of the crop. And the mechanisms by which losses occurs depends on the properties of the nutrients and its reaction with the surroundings. Next one, the need of the real time nitrogen management. As we know, the nitrogen is crucial inputs, especially in the agriculture. That is to be applied because of this is a highly mobile element. It will susceptible to the loss in different ways, that is leaching and denitrification, the volatilization, as well as the removal of plant, as well as runoff losses. As the nitrogen is a nutrient that most often limits the crop production, as the Pathak and his co-worker 2005 reported. And according to Dorman and the Kasmans 2004, the nitrogen is inefficiently, generally more than 50% of the applied nitrogen is not assimilated by the plants. And according to Novak and his co-worker 1998, reported that the leaching, runoff and denitrification are the process that results in the nitrogen loss from the soil plant system, creating the potential for nitrogen deficiency in the crop. Then you can say this is a graph actually have to the real time nitrogen management. And the first one, apply nitrogen early, monitor leaf color, and apply nitrogen when the LCC reading is below critical values. You can see here the plant nitrogen uptake. There is a basal with the days of transplanting, that is the days of sowing. You can see here the LCC readings below critical limit. As you can see the monitor leaf color at 7 to 10 days interval, and the basal of 14 and the days after transplanting or 20 days after sowing. You can say the initially there is will be less demand, especially for the nitrogen, or there will be less uptake of the nitrogen as the growth of the crop progress or increases, especially during the vegetative and the reproductive stage. The limits of critical LCC values will be higher. Then afterwards, as the growth of the crop increases, then decreases the chlorophyll content, especially leaf color. If the leaf color or chlorophyll content is reduced, then decreases the uptake of the nitrogen, as also the it will be the decline in nitrogen assimilation. As the nitrogen applied in the early, there will be less demand, and also the during the senescence or the maturity stage, there will be also the demand of nitrogen will be reduced. With respect of the vegetative and the reproductive stage, the demand of nitrogen will be more, and the chlorophyll content also be synthesized more during vegetative and reproductive stage. Where the LCC, that is indicates the chlorophyll value, as will be increases, they will be more, especially in the uh, vegetative and the reproductive stage. This is the real time nitrogen management. You have to apply nitrogen, especially in the as per demand and supply. That is, demand is more with respect to the vegetative stage as well as reproductive stage. This is the ideal stage of the crop, which should apply the nitrogen or should apply nitrogen as a real time, as per the need of the crop. Next one, this is a leaf color chart as a tool for real time nitrogen management. Having the different bands of color, especially the chlorophyll reading, as the top third leaf of plant should be selected and should be uh, matched with this stands given here, and accordingly you have to notify the value, especially the whatever the critical limit value are given in the leaf color chart. Accordingly you have to apply the nitrogen to the crop. Next one, the how to apply top dressing fertilizer, especially the broadcasting or broadcaster or the spinner, then side dresser or the side dressing, and the side dresser with the injection, especially the liquid fertilizers have to be applied through the injected or through the injection method or directly injection into the soil. Then foliar urea as a liquid the solution, start to solution, just like you have to prepare the urea solutions, that is 1:1:1 or 1:2:1 proportion, and you have to spray with the crop foliage with the critical value of that is 3 to 5%. If it is more than 3% concentration of the solution, it will be affects or there is the scorching or burning of the plants. That is standard or appropriate concentration of the nitrogen solution as the foliage spray recommended, that is 3 to 5%. That is biorate percentage of nitrogen. Next one, the advantages of top dressing application of nitrogen. As the to apply nitrogen as a top dress or this in split doses, it will be increases the yield potential of the crop, because of the as per the need and as per demand of application of nitrogen. It will be helpful for improving the yield potential. Then increasing time efficiency and the diffusing financial risk. Time efficiency, as the accurate time of application of nitrogen, it will be increases its value in terms of the yield. And then diffusing financial risk, that has to be instead of broadcasting or instead of the full dose of application of nitrogen at once, it will be face more the losses of nitrogen as leaching, denitrification, or the runoff or the runoff losses. It will be minimized by the way of splitting, so split application of nitrogen, as will be diffuse or reduce the financial risk. Then timing is key. As the timing means as the demand of a specific nutrient, especially nitrogen to the crop, you have to apply nitrogen split. It will be matched with the time or matched with the demand, and hence will be helpful for the crop growth and development. The nitrogen needs to be applied early in the growing season and before as rain event to move the nitrogen into the soil. As before raining or before early growing is to be applied nitrogen, to be especially is to be move easily into the soil, as instead of the runoff loss or the nitrification or volatile losses. And then next when advertise that increasing nutrient use efficiency, as the amount of nitrogen inputs, that is in kg, should be applied and then divided by the total amount of nutrient, that is especially nitrogen, is uptake by the plant, total quantity of the yield, that is actual quantity of the yield is obtained, it is in kg, It is, for example, 1 kg of nitrogen is applied to get 1 kg of the grain of seed. This is 100% nitrogen efficiency, but most of the rice fields have the, or especially in Indian conditions or in India, especially in rice field, nitrogen use efficiency is hardly 30 to 40% instead of 100%, because of these faulty agriculture practices, then wrong time of application of nitrogen, and then for unskilled use of labors, and also the wrong placement or the method of application, and also time. That's why the nutrient use efficiency will be greatly reduced in Indian conditions. Then also the heavy rainfall conditions, especially in India, the rainfall is more, and also the soils will also be lack of organic matter content, and it will be reduces the binding of the nutrients. Instead of binding, there will be the losses, either through the leaching or denitrification. Then next advantage, that is reduce the cost of inputs. As the cost of the inputs, the nitrogen will be applied in the split instead of basal. There will be less chance of the losses. Then also ultimately the cost of the inputs is reduced. If the nitrogen is applied in this basal, there will be the more chances, as because of this is a highly mobile element, and there will be the more chance of losses of nitrogen in different ways. Then also as a top dress, nitrogen helpful for the improving the nutrient use efficiency, as the amount whatever the nutrients are, especially nitrogen, are applied, the plant will get absorb or uptake these nutrients, because the nitrogen is applied as a top dress as per the need and demand. Next one, the conditions for the use of foliar nutrient or fertilizer includes there are three main conditions as to be used nutrient as foliar nutrient. This is the first of all, that is the top dressing part, and the second you can see here the foliar spreading or the foliar application of the nutrient or foliar spraying of the nutrients. The conditions required to use the foliar feeding or foliar nutrients or the fertilizer includes when the soil conditions limit the availability of soil applied nutrients. Then in the conditions with the high loss rate of soil applied nutrients may be occur, and when the stage of crop plant growth, the internal plant demand and the environmental conditions interact to limit the delivery of the nutrients to the critical plant organs. These are the three conditions required to use the foliar nutrients or the fertilizers. Next one, you can see what is the foliar feeding or the spray. As the foliar feeding is the nutrients can be applied to the leaves as a spray in the process is called as foliar application or feeding. Or another definition, foliar feeding is a technique of feeding plants by applying liquid fertilizers directly to the leaves. This is the concept or the definition of foliar feeding or foliar application or foliar spray. Then you can see the plants are able to absorb the essential elements through their leaves. The absorption takes place through their stomata and also through the epidermis. The transport is usually faster through the stomata, but the total absorption may be as a great through the epidermis. The plants are able to absorb the nutrients through their bark also, and the foliar feeding can generally done in the morning or late in the evening because of to avoid the volatile loss. Preferably also due to high temperature during the afternoon period. That's why you have to apply. Also the high demand in the afternoon session. Hence there is the best time to apply as a foliar feeding, that is early morning and late evening, preferably the temperature below 24 and the humidity also in degree Celsius, and that is 24 degrees Celsius, and in Fahrenheit that is 75. Because of the heat cause, there is the pores on the some species leaves to be closed. Then foliar feeding of the nutrient is preferably to the soil application when the soil conditions or the competitive crop makes the nutrient from soil dressing unavailable, likely late application of nitrogen to the crop raised under rainfed. Then second one, the accurate times response to fertilizer is required, that is for example change in the region, and the routine application are made of the pesticide, also the insecticide spray which will be to which the nutrients to the crop prevent the application of fertilizer to the soil, but permit its application to the leaves from high clearance sprayer or from the helicopter. These are the foliar feeding nutrients is preferably to soil application when the soil conditions or the competitive plants make nutrient from soil dressing is unable. Then foliar feeding is preferred. Or accurately time response of the fertilizer required, then that time the foliar feeding of the nutrient is preferred. If the rooting time is made, especially to which the nutrient prevents the application of fertilizer to the soil, it permits the leaves from higher clearance sprayer or from helicopter, then it should apply for their spreading in the soil as in soil application. Then actually next that is forms of the foliar feeding generally have the micronutrients come in many different ways, the forms that affects their solubility and the reactions. For example, salts, oxides, or the chelates in water and their uptake and the uses by the plants. Chelation is the term that describes the encapsulation process, that is coating with the polymers or the wax or the any other botanical extract which will be used for coating of the material. That is chelation. The chelates, that is chel means the crab's claw in the Greek word. That is the molecule with the neutral charge. That is the chelates, which will be used as a foliar feeding. The foliar feeding is the fast way of getting the nutrients into the plants compared with the soil application, and especially the important for the correction of the nutrient deficiencies and the addition of the micronutrients. The foliar feeding is the must and should be needed. Then next point, the factors affecting foliar nutrition as a responsible factor, that is relative humidity, then temperature, then precipitation, then light intensity. You can say here in detail, it is relative humidity. As the high relative humidity, permeability may be increases due to the cuticular hydration and the delayed drying of the salt deposited on the plant, the leaf surface with the following the application of foliar spray. They starts with the points of the daily pens above the prevailing relative humidity in the phyllosphere with the theoretically remaining the solutes, and this leaf penetration will be prolonged. And temperature, the increasing temperature range, that is from 0 to 40 degrees Celsius, the solubility of the active ingredients adjuvants will be increased. At the viscosity, surface tension, and the points of daily pens it will decreases. The temperature, especially in high, will speed up the rate of evaporation from the spray solution. Then precipitation, the high rainfall during and after foliar spray, then it will wash out the nutrients and decreases its efficiency. Then low temperature during and after foliar spraying of the nutrient, it will be increases the absorption and efficiency. And the light intensity, fourth factor, that is thickness of the cuticle and the amount of cuticular waxes, it will increases under high light intensity. These are the factors affecting the foliar nutrition. And next point, that is practical importance of the specific foliar application of the mineral nutrients. There are four practical importance, that is low nutrient availability in the soils, hence there need to be applied as a nutrients in foliar feeding or foliar application. Then dry topsoil, that is most of the soils that is as a nutrient applied in soil. The dry topsoils are of lack of moisture, then it will be the nutrients suffer for the loss. Just the need to be applied nutrients in the as a foliar application. Then decreases in the root activity during the reproductive stage. As the growth of the crop progress or increases, then decreases the capacity of root or the root activity to absorb the nutrient. Hence, there need to be applied nutrient in as a foliar spray, that is directly on the leaves. Then it increases the protein content, especially in the cereal grains. That will affects the uptake of the nutrients. Then foliar feeding. Next point, that is foliar feeding. Why and when? There are three main points, especially when and why the foliar feeding is done. That is especially complementary fertilization with added values. Then corrective nutrition when the deficiencies are noticed. Then growth boosting during the critical growth stages of the plant development. These are the three ways, that is why and when the foliar feeding. We can say detail, that is first one, complementary nutrition. the feeding, the foliar application of the nutrients complements the soil application or the nutrition. When the root uptake disturbed, the suboptimal soil conditions, that is due to low soil temperature, poor aeration, waterlogging, are responsible for the disruption of the root uptake. Then second disruption or the factor will be responsible for to reduce the root uptake, that is root damage because of these diseases or the nematodes. Then when the fertilizer, soil fertilization is inadequate, then application of nutrients with the restricted mobility in the phloem, such as calcium, boron, iron, and the manganese as well as zinc. This is the complementary nutrition. Then second one, corrective nutrition, as the foliar uptake of the nutrient is much faster than the root. And the foliar fertilization is recommended when the deficiency symptoms are noticed. Then when prompt correction of deficiency is required. Then if root activity is disturbed during the reproductive phase, then you have to make the corrective nutrition measures. The nutrients absorbed through the foliage strengthen the plant and also recovering the root uptake. This is the corrective nutrition. Then third one, that is growth boosting. Certain plant development stages are of higher importance in determining the final yield. Foliar application of the nutrient during these critical stages, that is it will increases the yield, and it will be increases the quality of yield as to be applied nutrients at the responsive stage or the critical growth stages. Then next, penetration of the nutrient into leaf. How the nutrient penetrate or intercept or the enter into the leaf, that is possible pathways, that is passive diffusion across the cuticle, through the stomata or through the polar spores, are the three ways of the pathway. There is pathways the penetration of the nutrient into the leaf. Next one, the benefits. What are the benefits of foliar feeding? That is first one, saving of money, that is reduces need for conventional fertilizers. Then second, that is fast acting, that is delivers nutrients to the leaves immediately than the roots. Then third one, provides nutrition if the roots are locked, then you should apply the nutrients as a foliar feeding. Then fourth one, that is it helps to break through the nutrient lockout. These are the four benefits of the foliar feeding. This is today's practical on the top dressing and foliar feeding of the nutrients. Thank you.